And we're back with lesson number 4 about OBS Ninja. I'm Chris.
I'm
And
Steve.
no, this side, Steve. See, I'm getting it wrong. Yeah. Nope, wrong side. So I'm in Germany. Steve is in Canada, and we
Toronto.
use OBS Ninja to talk to each other. And as you see, it looks good. Quality is there. The latency is cool. So we don't have too much delay between each other when we talk. And that's, for me, that's the power of OBS Ninja. It enables video productions of in a web browser pretty much. And it's a cool tool. It's a really cool tool. Thanks for making this.
Hey, thank you.
And thanks for improving it over time. So we have talked about the basic concepts, how to get video from one browser to the other. We talked about rooms, very important. Again, lesson number 2. We created what we call the power user room, which is a directorless room that doesn't do anything automatic, where you have where you pull the shots and you set the parameters. Well, still in the future, we have an episode where we talk about parameters, which are that's where the whole magic starts. This is where it becomes really, really interesting for someone who likes to play with these things. But now we want to finally bring OBS into the picture. Now, OBS is that video switcher, and it's open source, and it's on Windows, and it's on the Mac. It does work better on Windows. I must say, I'm a Mac user, so I kind of have this longing look over the pond at Steve's computer with Windows on it. But that's the way it is. So, and today we want to show how you add OBS Ninja to OBS. And to do that, we've set up a room. And you can see that room on the left side of the screen. So here we are, both in that one room. And there could be 3, 4, 5 guests in there. So for a little production, a little Twitch stream or something, you could have all your friends there, and maybe their shared screens and things. So you could have all that in this one room. And then you could set up a scene. We talked about the scenes. And which one is the one where you get to direct, where you get to add things as a director? The scene equals 1, right?
Yep. Scene 1 gives you control over who's in and who's not in the video.
Okay, so what we want to do here is add scene 1 to OBS. Now, on the right-hand side, that is Steve's screen with OBS. And in OBS, what you would do is you'd add a browser source, which is the part that doesn't work on the Mac, because OBS is kind of halfway broken on the Mac. But
it'll be fixed eventually.
If someone from OBS listens, hey, I'd love to have a working browser source, but there's a workaround. There will be an entire episode just about that. So, so what have you done now? You have added a browser source, and that's the default picture that you get. And in the URL for the browser source, you would add the scene, the OBS scene for that room that allows you control.
Right. So we have OBS Ninja. A scene equals 1, and the room equals secret 1000, the name of our room. We select width and height to be whatever aspect ratio we want, in this case 1920 by 1080, and the scene will automatically try to fit all the videos to that resolution and aspect ratio. And then on Windows, to capture audio, we can just click Control Audio via OBS.
So all the selected guests plus their audio will be in that one scene.
Absolutely. As soon as they're added, their audio will show up. And that's all we need to worry about. And when we hit OK, it's going to start empty, because we talked about requiring manually addition.
Yeah, if you go to lesson 2, we explained this in detail. So you'll see how to add people to that scene. There's a button under each person in the director's room. And if you click one, can you do that? Then that one person will show up from that room. And if you click the second one, you add the second one. There we go. And you can add and remove them as you like. And their audio will be added and removed as you like. So I've muted my audio. If I unmute my audio, you should even see it move. Yeah, there you go. Under You see the audio meter moving when I talk in OBS.
So I'll mute it. So you're muted, I think now.
Yep, you muted me in the director's room.
Yep. So now I muted you, and now you can see
Full
the audio.
control.
Yeah, you can do volume
Yeah.
and other aspects like that.
And that's pretty much how you add an entire OBS Ninja scene into OBS on Windows. And I think that's pretty cool. It's a very powerful thing. Yeah. And then in OBS, of course, you can place it, change it, add a backdrop, and whatever you want to do in terms of switching. And if you don't want that individual scene, that scene with all the sources in there, if you want to have even more control, then in the director's room, again, lesson 2, we showed that there's a solo link for each of the participants, and you could just add a browser source with that solo link. And can you set one up? Is that your solo link? There you go.
So on Windows, you can actually just drag directly from the director's room in.
Drag and drop into OBS, and it pops up as its own source.
It will automatically populate all the values you need. So you don't have to manually enter those values. What you do need to do, though, is just make sure you capture the audio for that source if you do that. But the solo scene is pretty simple. It just essentially has the stream ID that we're capturing appended, and that prevents any other videos from showing up.
There you go. Awesome. So I think that's enough for this very short little episode, because you don't really need to say more. I think the one thing that is important to note is, again, if you want the audio to also show up in OBS, you have to check a box when adding, what's it called? OBS controls audio or something?
Yeah, control audio via OBS.
Yeah. That's kind of the important thing. Again, different on Mac. We'll get to that in a future episode, but I think that's enough for now. And next time we're getting deeper into all the secrets. So till then, take care.
Bye, guys.